Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Wan Satira. So today I will explain to Doctor about introduction. So we move to the next slide, which is still under the introduction. And introduction have two main points, which is introduction of digital forensic and suspect. So introduction of digital forensic. Digital forensics is the process of finding, keeping, studying, and showing digital evidence in a way that can be used in court. It is often used in criminal cases, especially those involving computers like cybercrimes and data theft. A good example is the Cambridge Analytica case where digital forensic helped show how user data was collected without permission from Facebook users and used to influence political decisions. This case shows how digital forensic can track data access and help find out who used the data and how, especially when it was used in the wrong way. So we move to the 1.2 point, which is suspect. Cambridge Analytica illegally collected data from millions of Facebook users through a personality quiz and used it to influence voting behavior in major political events like the 2016 US election and Brexit, which was later exposed by whistleblower Christopher Wiley. We move to the next slide, which is slide background. So the first slide in background is 2.1 profile. Alexander Nick studied at Eton College and Manchester University. He first worked as a financial analyst in Mexico in the UK. In 2003, he joined a company called SCL Group as a director, where he helped expand the business to other countries. By 2007, he focused on political work, opening offices in Washington, D.C. and Delhi, and helping grow the company to over 300 employees. Over the years, he worked on more than 40 political campaigns in places like the US, Europe, Africa, and Asia. In 2010, he started SCL Group Social, a group that used SCL strategies for health development and humanitarian projects. So we move to the second point, which is Cambridge Analytica was not a completely separate company. It was part of a larger firm called SCL Group, which started in 1993. Cambridge Analytica began in 2013 to focus on politics. It used data and psychology to influence how people vote. The company became well known for taking Facebook user data without permission to create voter profile, especially during the 2016 US election and Brexit vote. Alexander Nick, the CEO of Cambridge Analytica, played a key role in this scandal by using people's social media data to plan political campaigns. 2.2 Timeline. The scandal began to take shape in 2014 when data scientist Alexander Kogan released a Facebook app that collected data from users and friends. In 2015, Facebook learned of the misuse of user data but did not publicly respond. Things escalated in 2018 when whistleblower Christopher Wiley disclosed how Cambridge Analytica had used the data for political purpose, and there was a public uproar and response. So we move to 2.3 chronology slide. In first chronology, which is 1 April 2020, Facebook launched Open Draft API, allowing apps to collect data from users and their friends. In 2013, Alexander Cogan develops the Facebook quiz app, which is This Is Your Digital Life, through his company, Global Science Research. In 1 January 2013, Cambridge Analytica was founded as a subsidiary of the UK-based SCL Group. We move to 2014, GSR through Cogan's app collects data from 88 87 million Facebook profiles, selling it to Cambridge Analytica for political profiling. 11 December 2015, The Guardian reports Cambridge Analytica was involved in Ted Cruz's US presidential campaign using Facebook data. 2016, which is 23 June, Brexit referendum vote leave campaign allegedly used CS data-driven targeting methods. So, 8 November 2016, Donald Trump wins the US presidential election. CA claims it helped the campaign using psychographic profiling. 17 March 2018, the New York Times and the Observer UK published exposed revealing CA harvested data from tens of millions of Facebook users. Whistleblower Christopher Wiley comes forward. Facebook in 19 March 2018, Facebook suspends Cambridge Analytica and Alexander Cogan. Zuckerberg remains silent. In 21 March 2018, Mark Zuckerberg issued a public apology, Facebook posts and TV interviews. So in 2019, 24 July, Facebook agrees to a record-breaking 5 million fine imposed by the FTC for data privacy. So to the 5 October 2020, UK Insolvency Service bans Alexander Nitz, former CEO, from running a company for 7 years until 2027.
Problem identification number 1 is misuse of personal data. So logging into newly discovered website or application with Google or Facebook account is very convenient as it keeps track of all user various account. However, user need to permit them to harvest and utilize personal data with the help of specialized API, which is application programming interface. So this API connect user social profile to capture data about name, phone number, email address, profile picture, friend list, interest, the kind of site user subscribe to, habits and likes. So the data will subsequently be harvested by the application itself or be put up for sale to third parties agency for advertising. So this practices not only violates user privacy, but it also makes user susceptible to data breaches, identity theft, and unauthorized transaction. So consider the Cambridge Analytica data scandal. They were a political consulting company that harvested millions of user personal data without their knowledge. So the data were then used to create the profiles of individual voters and influence their behavior in the 2016 US presidential election and the Brexit referendum. So they obtained the data by using a third-party quiz app and to provide people with information about their personalities. This allows Cambridge Analytica to harvest data from tens of millions of Facebook users without their knowledge or consent. So on the other hand, Mark Zuckerberg, the co-founder of the social media service Facebook, has admitted that Facebook safeguards user information and ensure prevention of the manipulation of its platform. Problems identification number 2 is weaknesses in Facebook privacy systems. So the Privacy Cambridge Analytica data scandal revealed significant weaknesses in Facebook privacy system. These weaknesses include inadequate protection of user data, lack of transparency regarding data collection and usage, and insufficient enforcement of privacy policies. According to Federal Trade Commission (FTC), Facebook has violated privacy restriction by represent to user what information Facebook collects. Fail to disclose a privacy right statement to user with third parties without obtaining their affirmative express consent. Retain user personal information indefinitely even after the user deletes the information from their account or deactivate their account, and more. Back in 2010, Mark Zuckerberg notoriously declared that privacy was not a social norm anymore. FTC confirmed it agreed to a settlement with Facebook over Facebook violation of privacy in Cambridge Analytica case. In the settlement order, Facebook agreed to the payment of a historic $5 billion fine to resolve FTC allegation that Facebook violated previous FTC order by repeatedly employing deceptive settings and disclosure to bypass user privacy setting and allowing Facebook to share user privacy data without prior permission to third-party application. Lastly is political manipulation through digital data. So the Cambridge Analytica used psychographic data from Facebook to identify user personality traits such as level of neuroticism. So individuals who were highly neurotic tend to feel anxiety. Fear and emotional sensitivity were targeted with political ads emphasizing threats like immigration or national security issues, such as "you are a good parent, things are getting dangerous. Here is a candidate who will protect what matters to you," such as in the figure provided. So this strategy was effective because emotional triggers, especially fear, can strongly influence voting decision. Meanwhile, swing voters or those who had not yet decided whom to support were shown a mix of negative messages about opposing candidates and positive message about preferred candidates. So this approach illustrates how personal data can be used to subtly and strategically manipulate political choices through tailored psychological targeting. So after this happened, Facebook faced intense global scrutiny and regulatory pressure. So public trust in Facebook imploded, such as user engagement dropped nearly 20%, and the hashtag #DeleteFacebook trended. So regulatory response was quick, where Facebook was called to US congressional hearings, a record-shattering $5 billion FTC fine, and forced to revamp its privacy and political advertisement practices. So the scandal not only laid bare the vulnerability of digital data exploitation, but also possessed a global force behind stronger data protection, such as general data protection.
Today I will explain about the evaluation alternative in this case study. The first one is introducing strict regulation. GDPR protects personal data. It sets clear rules on how companies collect, use and store user data. On Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal as a case example, user data was collected without consent and used for political purposes. The lack of regulations like GDPR enable this misuse. The importance of enforcement. GDPR forces to prove compliance, employ data protections officer, and undergo regular audits. Violation can lead to heavy fines, encouraging cautions and responsibility. The main lesson from the scandal is without strict laws, user data can be misused or hacked. And also the stronger laws and enforcement could have prevented or reduced the damage. The second one is strengthening technology privacy system. Privacy tech infrastructure empowers users. It allows individuals to control how their data is accessed and managed, especially through customizable consent and transparency settings. Lesson from Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal. The first one is the user data was collected without their knowledge or consent through third-party apps. The scandal exposed the danger of weak privacy protections and lack of user control, and need for stronger privacy protection. Stronger privacy systems are needed to prevent data misuse by third parties. Privacy tech solution. Data minimization is only to collect only necessary data. Strict access control limit who can access user data. Secure APIs protect system from unauthorized access. So for overall benefits, this measure reduce misuse and give user more control over their personal data. The third one is improve consumer digital education. Improving digital literacy is a key to privacy protection. Educating users on how their data is collected and shared helps them make informed choices. Lesson from the Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal: users did not realize that using a quiz app also gave access to their friends' data. This lack of awareness enable large scale of data harvesting. Benefits of digital literacy: users are more likely to use privacy settings, check permissions, and avoid oversharing. They can recognize privacy risks and take steps to protect themselves. So overall point for these steps is enhancing digital literacy empowers users to safeguard their privacy and reduce the risk of data exploitation. The last one is creating an international monitoring body. A global authority is necessary to audit, enforce compliance, and respond to cross-border data abuse by multinational tech companies. Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal highlight the gap. The scandal impact users worldwide, yet there was no global mechanism to hold Facebook accountable. The 2018 UK and Canada joint inquiry lacked full effectiveness due to differences in national law. Role of a global watchdog: it will ensure transparency in how tech companies collect, process, and share data. It would make digital platforms accountable to both users and regulators globally. Current international efforts: Japan, involving 80 plus countries, promotes cooperation and transparency.
Next is solutions. First is establish global privacy norms to prevent cross-border misuse. Global crises in privacy may occur if no unified regulations exist. Lack of standards law enable cross-border data misuse, like example of this case, which is Cambridge Analytica and Facebook case. So they need for international alignment of privacy laws to protect individual rights. Examples of global privacy regulations: EU GDPR 2018 influenced Brazil's LGBT 2020. Japan APPI merged public and private data law in 2025. South Korea PIPA partially aligned with GDPR, especially on consent. Tech companies must follow GDPR to avoid penalties and gain user trust. Second, empower users through accessible encryption technologies. Encryption helps users protect their own data, not just institutions. As user-friendly encryption tools, uCloud allow encryption directly on mobile device. Open source tools like Signal, ProtonMail, BitLocker allow encryption without professional help. Users avoid encryption tools due to poor design and lack of understanding. Developers must design encryption tools with clear, accessible features. Encryption enhances privacy and digital autonomy, though it can challenge digital forensic work. Empowering users with encryption boosts resilience, accountability, and control over personal data. Third, annual audit by independent body ensures credibility, accountability, and legal compliance in digital systems. Audits evaluate compliance with standards like GDPR, HIPAA, and PDPA. Helps detect weaknesses and evaluate risk strategies. Independent audits are more objective than internal reviews and increase stakeholder trust. Audit covers key processes like data collection, storage, and sharing practice. Scandals like Facebook and Cambridge Analytica prove the need for external supervision. Without independent audits, organization risk data breaches, legal violations, and reputational damage. Lastly, digital awareness campaigns raise public awareness about digital responsibility, safe practices, and privacy rights. Human factors like lack of skills and awareness lead to data breaches and privacy violations.
focus on practical education, strong passwords, phishing detection and laws like PDPA and GDPR. Campaigns must target the human factor, not just technical tools, effective when customized to specific sectors like healthcare, education and government. Tools include training modules, posters, alerts, simulations and reminders. But not all campaigns succeed. Psychological and behavioral factors like habits, stress, relevance must also be considered. Realistic scenarios and specific groups like students or staff increase effectiveness. Continuous training, annual refreshers and organizational support boost long-term success. Effectiveness depends on consistency, evidence-based design and audience relevance.
Next, for the recommendation, one of the key steps is the development of future privacy technology. The tech sector must fund advanced solutions such as blockchain to secure user data and enhance transparency in data sharing. So, blockchain technology offers a decentralized and immutable framework that significantly reduces the threats of unauthorized access. So, furthermore, integrating artificial intelligence (AI) into privacy architecture can detect and mitigate unauthorized data action. Artificial intelligence-based system can monitor data flow, identify suspicious activity, and breaches promptly. This technological advancement would make privacy protection stronger and rebuild trust between user and online platforms. In addition, empowering non-governmental organizations (NGO) and communities is also important. NGOs such as Electronic Frontier Foundation (EFF) can serve as a watchdogs, monitoring and reporting privacy violation to the public. This autonomous evaluation makes firms responsible for their behavior with data. Besides, digital literacy programs such as open webinars and workshops can educate users on how to safeguard their data and their rights. So these programs are especially important for groups who may not understand the implication of data exploitation. So by introducing and educate an active user population, these efforts can minimize the chances of exploitation on the web. So finally, media and privacy-focused websites are key in promoting ethical behavior towards data. So media organizations can expose cases like data misuse, raise public awareness and pressure firms to set new benchmark for privacy. Meanwhile, developing alternative social media platforms that prioritize user consent and privacy can offer solution to current data abuse issue. So this platform can employ membership fees based or community support models and avoid relying on targeted ads. So by proving that a social media platform could succeed without compromising the privacy of users, this effort will break the norms and promote widespread ethical business models. In conclusion, the Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal is a case regarding the misuse of digital data and the necessity of digital forensic to reveal such incident. In this case, unauthorized collection of personal details for millions of Facebook users was employed to influence political campaign and election. In addition, it allows the development of prevention measures against future violation and strengthen the authenticity of the digital environment. So the Cambridge Analytica case shows the demand for strict regulation, technological development and raising public consciousness to protect people's information. By balancing digital forensic with global efforts to safeguard data privacy, society can effectively counter threats of exploitation and build confidence in digital space. This case underlines the importance of proactive measures to guarantee ethical data treatment in rapidly evolving digital landscape.